Hello you four, I hope you're all doing okay and welcome to today's history and geography lesson. What I've got here is the rest of the chapter that Mrs D has used in this week's reading lesson. In the rest of the chapter we find out about a very interesting historical figure for Britain. So I'm going to read the rest of the paragraph and then we'll carry on and learn a little bit more about her. Ursula refused to let him frighten her. "So why should we be grateful?" she asked, working at the ship's biscuit with her back teeth. "Because now you have half a chance of surviving. You're used to hard tack, hard work, and sleeping on a hard deck. You've developed good arm muscles for climbing trees, and good leg muscles for running away." "I've heard the women fight too," Fronto said. "Indeed they do," said the captain. "When I was in the army, I fought a tribe led by a woman." Ursula leaned forward. "A woman led an army?" Boudica was her name. A faraway look came into the captain's blue eyes, as if he were recalling an old girlfriend. She was queen of a northern tribe. She was a great leader, 6 foot tall, with brass-coloured hair down to her hips. She could throw a spear and drive a chariot. "I think I've heard of her," Juba said. "Is she the one who drove a chariot with curved blades coming out of the wheels?" Captain Calerius snorted. "That's a myth. If you put blades on your wheels, you chop your own men to bits." Fronto cocked his head. "Does she run around naked, covered in blue tattoos, with her long hair spiked out?" Captain Calerius laughed. "First, she's dead these past 30 or so years. Second, she did not go naked. She wore a long tunic with lots of criss-crossing coloured stripes. Around her neck she had a twisty gold necklace as thick as your sister's wrist." "Our father showed us something like that once," said Juba. "He called it a torque." "That's right. Boudica wore a solid gold torque." "She sounds wonderful," said Ursula. But Juba shook his head. "She sounds terrifying." The captain remained grave. "She was terrifying," he said. "I was lucky to get out alive. The things she did to her captives, well, it's too horrible to say." "If Boudica is dead," Ursula said, what do we have to be afraid of?" "Why, all of them other savage tribes," said Captain Calerius. "And if they don't get you, the weather will. But like I said, you have a better chance of surviving now than you did when you came aboard. That's why you should kiss the young master's feet." So there we've introduced our historical figure, Boudica. Let's find out a bit more about this incredible female historical figure. So, Boudica lived over 2,000 years ago in a Celtic tribe called the Iceni, and the tribe ruled East Anglia in Britannia. So you can see on this map here of Great Britain, you can see this section here which is red, and this is the region that the Iceni tribe ruled. Now, Boudica was married to a powerful man named King Prasutagus, and he had 2 daughters. Now, these were dangerous times to live in because the Roman army were very strong, and King Prasutagus made an agreement with the Romans to keep peace and the land the tribe lived on. Unfortunately, time passed and King Prasutagus passed away, but he left a will, which are his wishes and things that he wanted to happen when he died. So this is the will that he left. "I will leave half of my kingdom to my queen Boudica. I will leave the other half of my kingdom to the Roman emperor." Now, as you can imagine, the Romans laughed at this. They wanted all the kingdom. They wanted more taxes, and they wanted Boudica not to be queen. So they took away all of the tribe's farms and animals. And as you can imagine, they didn't do this in a kind way. And in fact, they publicly flogged, which means that they beat Queen Boudica. Now, Boudica was not impressed with this, so she vowed to fight back. And warriors from other armies joined her Iceni tribe, and they marched to their first battle. The good news is, for Queen Boudica, that they were victorious in their first battle, which was at Colchester. And at that time, that was the capital city of Britannia. But as they headed to Londinium, they soon realised why the Romans were so hard to defeat. So they did defeat them in Londinium, as we know, because they burned Londinium to the ground. However, the Romans were highly trained warriors with very good battle plans, and they eventually beat Boudica and her army. Now, Boudica had far too much pride to be taken captive, and she probably knew that her life was very much in danger if she were to be taken captive by the Romans. So instead, she drank a deadly poison, and that was the end of her. Now, a question to ask ourselves, and we have to always think this when we think about history: how do we know the information that we have? So how do we know what she looked like? There's loads and loads of evidence all over about what Queen Boudica looked like. The most prominent thing being her red, long hair. And the reason why we know this is that we do have some evidence. And a Roman writer named Dio Cassius wrote, "She was a tall woman with piercing eyes and a loud voice. A great mass of red hair hung down below her waist. Round her neck was a large gold band. She wore a long flowing tartan dress, and over it a thick cloak fastened with a brooch." So this is evidence that has been found from a Roman writer describing this warrior queen. If you were to head to London, to the River Thames, you would actually see a bronze statue of Boudica and her daughters, which was sculpted in 1850. So if you do manage to get a trip at some point to London, there's loads of evidence to see the Roman influence, but also the Celtic influence of Queen Boudica. So your task, what I'd like you to do is to write everything you know about Boudica. So have another look back through this video and all the different facts that you have found out about this really fantastic female historical figure. There is a picture, so I'm going to put some outside the office for you if you would like the picture of Boudica here, or you can print it off. It's on the website for you. So I've just done an example here just with a couple of facts. I've put Boudica was the leader of the Iceni tribe in Britannia, and Boudica led tribes against the Romans, defeating them in both modern-day Colchester and London. So there we go, that's your task. I've also put on the website some links to the Horrible Histories song all about Boudica and also the Horrible Histories video about Queen Boudica. So you can maybe watch those and see if there's any more extra facts or see if it does consolidate the facts that you have learned. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing the work that you produce. Okay, thank you. Bye.